Let's have some fun today.
Hey, listen, actually the film wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. I mean, if you did not play Dale, there would be no. Nope.
Welcome to the Big Hammock Podcast. At this point in the gesture, Mr. Damon Vitale is not a guest anymore. When you're at round 3, you're a member of the Big Hammock Podcast.
So. I guess everybody said no.
And as you can tell, we have our soundboard that Travis talked about on the last podcast up and running. And forgive me because I am not running it, but we'll let Malcolm have some fun with it back there. So we're coming to you from YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and this week added to the mix, Audible. Like, share, subscribe, comment, tell all your friends about the podcast. And, of course, you can find all of our updates on Facebook with all of our platforms, and everything is found at The Big Hammock. And don't forget the website, thebighammock.com, one word, The Big Hammock, where you can get your DVDs, Blu-rays, digital copies. And what I'm most excited about is you can get your tickets to the premiere at the Twin City Opera House in my hometown of Morgan County, Ohio. And Damon, before we get started, I want to talk about something that I missed on the last episode. When we announced we were coming to the Opera House. I take time to prepare these episodes. I make my notes. I, go over everything. I kind of, have a good idea as to where we're going to go with these. And I talked about growing up at the M&M pool during that episode. And I apologize because I failed to mention the most important name in relation to that pool, and that's Trish Nesserode. Damon, it's been eating at me all week because she was the heart and soul of that swimming pool. Wow. And I forgot to mention her, and I had her name written down. So Trish, I want to tell you, we're obviously inviting all of Morgan County to come to this premiere, but Trish, I want you to come for free. For missing your name, and then also all the heck and the crap I gave you when I was a child. I don't think I can repay you any other way than the movie, so I want you to come and hang out with us. Damon, what do you think about that?
I think that's amazing. What a great opportunity to give some of that love back, when you're growing up. So
yeah, absolutely. Awesome. I've been all since I got started on this. I think everybody found out on the last podcast. This is something that I'm very, very excited about. I know Damon and Malcolm and Travis, they're excited about it. We've been talking all week. We've been, correlating on, how the trip's going to go, what we're going to do when we get there. And there's going to be more announcements to come in the coming weeks. But Damon, I'm excited to have you here again this week because earlier this week you made a podcast or a post on Facebook. And it was titled, first of all, let me go back. Well, never mind. It was titled, Why You Should Support Independent Filmmaking, Especially Right Here in Ocala. For me, when I read that, you can almost call it a blog. And for me, there was no doubt about it. It was poetic. And in today's episode, I really want to read that post and let our listeners, for the listeners, you can find that post on our Big Hammock Facebook page. It was shared on there. But I really want to just read this post, paragraph, kick back, really let you just elaborate on it. Because I was moved by that post. But thank you for sharing it with us. I'm going to read this. It started out with, why you should support independent filmmaking, especially right here in Ocala. Let's be honest. Watching an independent film can feel a little awkward at first. It's not a Marvel movie you're used to. There's no billion-dollar studio budget. You might not recognize the faces on the screen. The lighting might feel different. The dialogue might feel raw. And yet that's exactly why it matters. We're talking about the Big Hammock, an independent film made right here in Ocala, Florida, by locals for locals, and about the kind of stories that rarely make it to the big screen. It's not backed by Hollywood, and that's the beauty of it. This film is ours. It represents home, heart, hustle, and the real people who believe in storytelling for the sake of art, culture, and connection.
Yep.
Elaborate on that, Damon.
So, first of all, Zach, thank you for having me on your podcast for the third time.
That's right.
Second? Third?
Yes.
Thank you. You're very well prepared today, and some nice things you said earlier. Including I'm talking to myself when I wrote that post, because I was never a big follower of independent films, and I got involved with a couple movie projects as favors and helping friends out, and then realizing, hey, this is kind of a big underground thing that you don't even know about. Mm-hmm. Right now in Ocala, I think it's our movie. There's another production company that's doing a film, and there's another one on the way. And not many people know there's actually going to be 3 films coming out of Ocala on the independent scene.
Very cool.
So, I didn't know any of this. Mm-hmm. So when you watch an independent film, or when you watch a film like ours, it's not going to be that high quality studio production that you're used to seeing through major multi-billion-dollar movie houses. And in a sense, what we're showing you is a new form of art. Mm-hmm. So if you were watching classic paintings and you saw all these famous paintings, and then you saw this other person that's kind of emulating some of those traits in those paintings and making their own painting, that's an art form in itself. And that's kind of what independent film is.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see, independent film, amateur film. It's probably both in the same. But then that's where each individual directors and editing teams, when friends come together and collaborate, each of them bringing their own strength, it makes a pretty good film for a shoestring budget. And we've all seen cases where a small independent film becomes very successful because of the cinematography or the story or how the editing is and the directing. But when is there going to be that film that just supersedes all of the records as far as, in independent filmmaking, they're going to say a cheaply made film is $64,000, around that, right? I think there's a famous independent film that started out at $64,000. That was their budget for the filming. What would we do at $64,000? That would be amazing. What would we do with $100,000? I mean, and still nobody's getting paid just to have all of that, high end equipment and things like that. Well, there's got to be a bottom somewhere. Where's the record for the most inexpensive film ever made, accumulated this many awards? And we never think of that when we make the film. Mm-hmm. But now we're going all the way to Ohio now. We sold out the theater when we first showed our screening. DVD sales were 53 on Apple. Mm-hmm. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And so that's kind of cool. So now we're kind of getting this movement going. And I'm going, man, what do I tell the people that are kind of don't know about independent films, or it's kind of weird to see an independent film because it's not what you're used to seeing? Because immediately you're going to judge it as, oh, this is terrible. Well, hold on a second. It's not as bad as you think. And then when you make a film that's close to cinematography, writing all of your own score throughout the entire film, now you're putting these building blocks together for a recipe to have a really good run at having a high caliber independent film.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what you brought out there, the art behind it. Art gets thrown around there a lot, and it's something that was created from nothing, and it told a story and it moved people, and that's what art is. And your thought process behind that and wanting to share that with Ocala, it gets me excited about Ocala. You went on to with that post, and you said the next thing was a question. It was followed up with a question. You said, "Why is it weird to watch?" You went on to say, "Because we're conditioned to expect polish and perfection from big movie houses, but independent films have soul. They're honest, quirky, sometimes unfiltered, and that's the point. They reflect real life. Watching a film like The Big Hammock might feel different, but it's the kind of difference that opens minds and inspires communities."
When I had friends and family telling me that they're going to, hey, I rented the movie. I'm like, wow. I mean, I know people went online, paid $7, and they'd send me a screenshot of them watching the film on their television, right? And I'm going, man, this is pretty cool. And I always said it with a preface. I said, hey, listen, just remember when you're watching the show, we're all amateurs. None of us we've never had any training whatsoever. There are people, this is their first time ever acting at all, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Right? Just know that, and know that everything, the sounds, the special effects, this is all done as a group together. We didn't, the whole entire score,
Yeah.
we wrote all the music,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And just remember that.
Yeah.
And that's it. And just tell me what you think. And they loved it. They loved it.
I tell you, that is definitely rewarding. I don't think I've gotten any negative feedback on the movie yet.
No.
And I don't say that bragging, right? Like, it's just something special. And people could, there's brutally honest people out there that would love to bury you. And I haven't had that happen yet.
Well, and earlier you're talking about art, and art's perception, right? There's things that we probably would never agree that's an art. There's some crazy things that people describe as art, but when it comes to movie making and filmmaking, directing is an art. The editing, there's an art of editing, how you put things together, and acting is an art. Portraying a character or having someone. I always said you're telling a story, but you don't want it to look like Zach's telling a story. It's Dale telling a story, right? And so it's several different. It comes across as several different art forms to make the film, and that's what you're trying to kind of educate people, that this whole entire project is a bunch of different art forms coming together to make one single piece of art in a movie. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and for not to be, no one has too much of an ego. Everyone's working together, and to be able to take a group of a lot of different ideas together and putting them as one, and you just kind of go, okay, let's see what happens. And then you're like, hey, this is pretty cool, man. We sold out the theater. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Hey, we're 53 on Apple now. What? What is happening? Hey, we're going to Ohio now.
Sure are.
It's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is the perfect segue into your next question in your post or your blog was, why should I support, or why should you support it? And your response to that was, because when you support the Big Hammock, you're not just supporting a film, you're supporting local artists, actors, and creatives. Economic growth in Ocala through film, tourism, and local production. The idea that stories from our own neighborhoods deserve to be told.
Same reason why we go to the Speedway and watch people race.
Yeah.
Because we know these guys work 9 to 5 every day.
Yep.
And, Friday nights, they're getting the race car loaded on the trailer. They're getting it together.
Yep.
And they're going to go out and bang fenders for $500.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
we all watch it and cheer it on because it's kind of cool.
Yep.
It's another art form, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it. Love it.
Yeah.
Because you're always cheering for the guy.
Yeah.
The independent.
Yeah.
The guy who freaking works his tail off all week and hope he wins. The guy, he's your neighbor.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with independent filmmaking. You should support these guys that are grinding out. We all have jobs. You all work. I can't make it to set because I got to do this weekend. We finally come together. We do a quick scene, and it all happens after that. That's why you should support them, because it's just people like you.
Yeah.
We're not. I don't fly home in my jet, in Malibu. I don't do that. you know, I go back to work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty much how it works.
Got to go make some real money.
Right. If I'm going to feed myself on set, I need to go to work. Oh, he's in his feelings over there.
Your next question, which is, one that I definitely want to elaborate on and spend some time on. How can you help make the film successful? It's easier than you think, and your impact is bigger than you realize. Go see the movie. Show up, bring a friend, be part of the audience. TheBigHammock.com, one word. Share it on social media. Word of mouth is a fuel that drives the indie film success. Tag it, post about it, tell all the people what it meant to you. Talk about it at work, at church, at school. Mention it in conversation. Let people know Ocala has its own stories worth celebrating. Leave a review, whether it's on Facebook, Google, or film review site. Your voice builds credibility. Get involved, volunteer, donate, offer your skills for future projects. Independent filmmakers thrive on community. A lot there. I want to start with purchasing the movie, going to the movie. That supports it, right? But the next couple of things don't involve money at all. All right, talk about it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. Talk about what it means to you with your friends. Share it with your friends. Talk about it. I know for me, when I see people at work, it's the funny thing is I see somebody, I'm like, man, you still haven't watched my movie yet. And I'm not really relying on anybody, but it's the funny gag joke of everything, right? And then when I'm saying goodbye, I'm like, all right, don't forget to purchase my movie.
Listen, I have family members that watch the movie. And trust me when I tell you, they are not scared to tell me how they feel. And, hey, it was good. It was really good. One of my family members said, I didn't know you were in the movie so much. I said, yeah. Kind of the main dude. Yeah. And he gave me he said, hey, it was good. It was really good. For what it was really good. Yeah. And that's the only time I was ever nervous about anybody watching the film. Yeah.
And they could do the same thing for this podcast too, right? Like, the way that we're going to get the word out 100%. About this movie, or one of the ways we're going to get a word out about this movie, is this podcast. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment. Whatever we got to do to get the word out there, by whatever means necessary, that's how you can support and help make the film successful.
Right. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising. So I think that's what everybody's trying to do.
Absolutely.
It's doing really well.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
But that's the free way you can help. Like and comment. If you guys got any show ideas or if there's any questions you want answered, that's a big one. Leave comments in this episode and say, hey, we want to talk about this. What about this? And we'll answer them from the website.
Absolutely.
All that generates algorithm.
We got an Ask Us Anything episode coming up. Drop your questions in the comments. We'll spend a whole episode answering questions. So
awesome.
You wrapped it up by saying, we may be used to watching movies from big studios with massive effects and famous actors, but there's something deeply powerful about standing behind a local project and saying, I was a part of making that happen. So yes, it might feel different, but different doesn't mean bad. Different might just be the start of something meaningful. Let's keep the Big Hammock swinging, and let's keep Ocala's storytelling alive.
Ocala is a beautiful place. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's the horse capital of the world.
Yes.
Why couldn't it be the independent film capital of the world?
Nice.
Not saying it. I mean,
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
If we all had a negative attitude, we'd be nothing.
Yeah. Ocala wasn't always the horse capital of the world.
No, it wasn't. And so and it's Marion County. It's ginormous. And you go to one end and it's lakes, and you go to the other end, it's dense woods.
Yeah.
And the Big Hammock. And so there's a lot to profile. We have some very good aerial shots of some of the areas around here, and it's gorgeous. It's nice, the tall pines.
Which is the perfect segue, Damon, because you and I were talking, and we've been doing this podcast for, about a month now, and we've, as you've said, we've had some success with it. The thing that
Yes.
we've had some success with it, and the thing that we're trying to do is keep our content fresh, but we don't want to force it either, right? We don't want to come on here and talk about Donald Trump and Elon Musk argument,
Right?
We don't want to talk about Phil Robertson dying,
Right.
This is an independent film. We want to talk about primarily the Big Hammock. We want to talk about independent filmmaking. We want to talk about our premieres that we have coming up, and have our guests coming on the show. But we want to keep the content fresh too. We don't want to just talk about the same thing over and over again. And as we were talking the other day, we talked about an episode about Ocala, and segueing into starting the name of Big Hammock, right? The Big Hammock is what Ocala means in the Native American language, which is where this started. So the Big Hammock is a community, and that community represents Ocala. And you mentioned, some things that Ocala has, horse country of the world. Horse capital of the world. You talked about the racetrack. I was talking to you earlier about my job that I have and how far it goes, east and west, north and south. I've met people across my work, and I mean, as far as Daytona, make the trip over here for a drive-in movie.
Oh yeah, yeah,
right. Like we have so much here, in Ocala to offer. You brought that up, and we're definitely going to do that'll be a future episode. We're going to talk about Ocala, and how cool this community is.
Fun fact about real quick about the drive-in. I believe it might have been Samsung. So they had reel to reel, the old film, and everything was going to digital. And Ocala was not equipped with digital. And it's a family-run business. You're not. Just like an independent film, right? And I think it was Sony or Samsung, I can't remember who it was. They did a drive-in competition. To where if you can get enough people to like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever it was, put in your vote, and they're going to scour the entire United States of America for drive-ins. And based upon popularity, they're going to donate $10,000 to convert their film
to digital.
To convert their from film to digital. And Ocala won. And I don't know what it finished in one whether it's 10th or 1st, whatever. But out of all the drive-in theaters across the United States, it made it to the top 10 and got a retrofit. And you can still enjoy movies
Which
today.
is something to be proud of.
It's incredible.
I can't wait to do that episode because, newsflash, Damon didn't watch the last episode. So, we got to, throw that out there.
Thank you. I'll slip you a $5. Well,
I was very passionate in sharing what it was like, growing up in Morgan County. I have that same passion for Ocala. And I don't even we got a whole episode that we can talk about Ocala. So I'm looking forward to that. That's coming down the hopper. So,
all right. Well, one thing is that it sounds like you're expanding what you're going to talk about, and no one's interviewed you. No one's talked to you about what no one's asked you the hard questions.
I'm the host, so I don't get interviewed.
Well, we're going to flip it. I'm gonna. Yeah. Yes. Cue the music.
I'm gonna.
Cue the music. Yep. Here we go, folks. So this is going to be one-on-one with D-Dog and Zach.
Hey, hold on. I don't do films. I don't do films.
So in the film, you played Dale, who is pretty much the storyteller of...
Fun fact, Dale is Malcolm's brother, who was my best friend from middle school to this day.
Oh, wow.
We became best friends in 8th grade.
Wow.
I am going to... You know what? time out. I'll tell you about this, right?
Yeah.
So we were 8th grade. It was Mr. Simmons' history class. And Mr. Simmons is a great guy.
He is.
You know him?
I know him well.
Okay, so he was also my football coach in JV.
Yep.
His sister, great family. His sister was Mrs. Johnson. She's one of my favorite teachers in high school. She
Yep.
also taught history.
Yep.
And then Mrs. Johnson's son was also a football coach, Matt.
Yep.
And he's now the principal of North Marion High School.
And just did his first graduation.
Yep. So my reason for saying that is Dale and I were best friends in the back of Mr. Simmons' class playing cards under the desk. and again, I love Mr. Simmons, Coach Simmons.
Yeah.
But he had been at that point teaching for very many years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he would sit in this chair at the front of the classroom because it was the umpteenth time he taught this class with his eyes closed, talking about World War I throughout the whole time, like this. So we'd be in the back of the class just playing cards.
Oh my gosh!
Under the desk.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, and but we became best friends. And we literally have been best friends ever since then, all through high school, all through our adult years.
Yeah.
And it was cool playing Dale.
That's awesome.
In the movie. So
Yeah. So in the movie, you're kind of responsible for, bringing the movie along. I mean, if you didn't, I can't speak for everyone. I know I can speak for a couple people that if you didn't become that character, there would be no Big Hammock. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you. And I personally want to thank you for that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Next question. I'm speechless.
Hey, who tells better stories, Dale or Zach?
Dale. I don't know. I think that, in that aspect, they're both the same. Really.
Yeah.
Because, you guys have seen the real me on this podcast. Yeah. And part of what I like about the podcast is as I ask questions, I build a segue to that question.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell a pretty darn good story. So, but Dale also told a good story.
Yeah.
Right. And it was the story of the Big Hammock Massacre.
Yeah,
so
there's a little bit of Zach and Dale and old Dale.
There was
Zach.
Definitely a little bit of Dale and Zach, but definitely different people.
Yeah.
Definitely. You have to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Tell them why it's different.
Oh.
I don't want to. No.
What's the main reason why it's different?
The main reason why it's different is because I personally do not believe in Bigfoot. Dale does.
Gotcha.
And I cannot believe that Malcolm, and you know what? He doesn't like it when we keep mentioning his name, but now I'm just going to mention his name because he did that. I can't believe that he just had me put that out there because this whole entire time he's just, I don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
He'll
Don't tell nobody.
He'll edit it out.
He just
He'll
I know he's not. He did that on purpose, and you guys got me in a very different situation here. I'm the one that's supposed to ask the questions. I'm the professional here.
You're the 53rd podcast. Wait,
I'm the 53rd podcaster in the film industry on Apple. Okay.
I'll take that $5 back. What's the better campfire snack, jerky or trail mix?
Jerky.
Yeah. Packs well, doesn't melt. What was the biggest surprise during filming as Dale?
What all was added to it? So, I'll go ahead and I'll talk about that, Damon. It's no secret I've never acted before. Now, I was in the middle school chorus in middle school. And one of the things that we used to do was at the end of the year, we would go to every elementary school and do a show for the fifth graders. And the band would do the same thing. And what that was is they were basically recruiting for the band and the chorus for those fifth graders going into sixth grade. And the show that the chorus did actually had skits in between each song. So I was a little bit, and again, a little bit familiar with doing some type of character, whatever it may be. But I knew when Malcolm released It's Danny that I could bring something to the table.
Right.
And when I first came in to do that scene with you, I was ready. I prepared. I was
the diner?
At the diner scene. And I took time to make sure that I executed that. And Malcolm saw that. It turned into, the post-credit scene.
Right.
It turned into the radio show scene. It turned into telling a story throughout the whole movie. And it surprised me, because at the end of the day, Malcolm's been doing this for a while now. He's longer than, he did Signal Lost with you guys. He's done small projects with Travis. And I've known him for many, many years. And, he did the rapping thing for a while. Mind you, I was never a rapper or never even tried to do the rapping. What I can tell you is that he always wanted my opinion on his songs. Always. And I always provided him the feedback. He always welcomed the feedback. He did the same thing with It's Danny. Little did I know there was an ulterior motive there, which was to get me to be a part of it. Yeah. But I don't think
the same thing to me.
I don't think he expected me. And again, I don't think he expected me to do so well. And I don't think I don't know that I expected him to like me so much. And it wouldn't have been personal between us, right? Like, I could have showed up at the movie theater just to see my one part in the diner scene because that's all it was going to be.
He wants people that are talented.
Yeah.
But he also wants people that are willing to do whatever it takes to want to get it right, to have that passion to make it right. And there's people that don't care.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't want that.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm sure there was probably 2 or 3 times where he was like, what about this? What about this? I already know without even asking. Because I know even now, like your first podcast was a pencil and like a couple things on a piece of paper. And here you are with a laptop because you're getting better and better and better because you're redefining. I think I can do it better. You have ideas, fresh ideas that kind of pop in. Some people just don't care to want to do better. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. It's just I'm talking about the process of what makes things successful.
Yeah, so for me, the question was what surprised me. That's the continued desire to work together is what surprised me the most. Not that I was shocked.
Yeah, $5. Yeah. Which is more stressful, filming or doing this? Which is more nerve-wracking?
It's a good question. Depends on what day it is. It really does because, when we were filming, I would get stressed because I really wanted people to believe my character and what I was saying. And not just I wanted people to believe that I believed in Bigfoot. It was I wanted people to believe that my character is passionate about the story that he's telling. My character is passionate about Bigfoot and the community of the Big Hammock. And my character loves good old Warden Wayne.
Yeah, we're just like best friends, aren't we?
Sarcastic best friends.
Right. You talked about, preparation and things like that. thanks for coming in early today.
Yeah,
like
that was the other part that gets stressful about the podcast is the preparation.
Yeah,
right. So I kind of have in my head. He'll call me and he'll ask me, hey, are you good for this time? Sure. And then I'll ask him who's going to be on it. And anytime he says Damon's coming, I know it's going to be a good podcast.
Yeah. Well, we prepare, right?
Yeah. But there's some times when I'm like, okay, how am I going to get to the other side of this podcast and have the listener gravitate towards this podcast? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We want to gravitate as many listeners as we can to this podcast. And for that's stressful because we've made no knowns about it. Right. We want you to buy the movie, right? Right. And so
in theory, we got the car rolling. It's pushing, and we're trying to get everybody to pop the clutch.
Yeah,
so we can kind of get it in first gear and get rolling with it. So it's kind of what we're doing now. So I'm still interviewing you, by the way. So if Dale had a podcast besides the show that he had on the film, what podcast would he have? What would be the name of it if Dale had a podcast?
First thing pops out of my head is it would just be the Bigfoot is Real podcast.
Oh, okay. All right. Bigfoot is real.
All right, Warden Wayne. That was Warden Wayne right there. That was who that was. That was not Damon. That was Warden
Dale.
Wayne.
All right, Dale.
It's not my jam.
Right. Anyway, so hey, listen, man. I just want to appreciate all that you do. I wish you the best of luck on your podcast. And that was the lightning speed round with Zach.
Wait a minute. We got to close it out and talk about close it out talking about the Morgan County visit we're going to make June 19th, Twin City Opera House. Get your tickets at thebighammock.com. One word. We've already got some sold. Share this podcast, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends all about it. We will see you soon. Bad.
Dang,
that was bad.
Man.
That was bad.
I went 90%. You got to come over my way. There you go.
All right, perfect.